Do you want deeper and faster client results without having to say something like go deeper, drift deeper, and sink deeper, click, 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 50 times deeper and even deeper still, click, click, click. Blah. Like saying that just now isn't really the vibe anymore. And so today is all about this wonderful training that you're about to receive that is going to change the way as to how you have your sessions moving forward in your hypnosis business. And this is all about a training that is going to help you look for deeper information within your client sessions so that your clients can have deeper results. And so let us begin. I am going to share my screen with you. And in this training, what you'll learn about is the language of the unconscious mind, the nervous system language that goes way beyond words. There are a lot of emphasis on the words that we say in our sessions, hence why the scripts and all of that metaphorical visualization, imaginative type bullshit that is being thrown at us, right? But truth of the matter is, the unconscious mind does not speak through words. That is not the language of it. Body language is not through words, not what we say, it's how we say it, right? So in this training, we will talk about that, the more important thing that you actually want to look for if results for your clients is important to you. And we're going to look at exactly what to look for. I will share a screen with you that you can use as a guide. And also, I will play you a clip playing an example in real life so you can enhance your learning. So let the screen sharing begin. Just give me a second here. All right. So you should see a screen now saying unconscious expressions. I'm too big. Let's fix this. Okay. So this one slide shows you the visual cues that you want to look for within your clients. And you really want to pay attention to the screen if you're doing it on Zoom or if you're in person, you really want to watch your client with this. This is why we don't use any scripts or techniques or read anything because these visual cues, literally, sometimes if you blink, you will miss them. So going like this, because I have a sheet of paper script in front of me, or I'm in my screen, I'm looking at the left because that's where my technique, my swish technique, or my sleight of mouth language pattern, that's where I'm reading that shit. I am gonna be missing the really important part, which is in front of my client, which are these visual cues. So we want to look at our client's eyes, right? Eyes are the windows to the soul. Eyes are windows to the brain. You know, the retina is part of the brain. And so you actually want to look at what is happening with the eyes. And the clip that I'm going to show you after this is really going to show you the importance of it, because if you're looking at something else other like your cue cards or your script, you're going to miss wonderful things. So you want to look at how your client's eyes are blinking. Are they blinking very rapidly, or are they just staring off in space, not blinking for a full minute? What is it that they're doing? If your client has increased attention on you when you're saying something and they're really listening, or they're looking at the screen as you're listening, they're entranced. When it comes to paying attention to you, this is a great thing. And if they are placing their attention on any particular object in their surroundings, you may or may not see it if you're in Zoom, but they seem to be looking somewhere at something like this all the time when you ask them the question, right? You ask them a question, they go, that is them looking for unconscious information. You just make note of that and gazing in a certain direction. And you also want to notice your client's posture. Our posture says a lot about what our internal state is. And so as you are observing your client, are there any shifts in their posture, their stance, or their body language? Are they more lean forward? Are they tense in their face whenever they either talk to you or in general? Are they just very tense? There's a lot to unpack there. Or on the other side of the coin, you have someone who's very flat, floppy, hunched over, very like I'm Eeyore and I'm sad type of posture, like the really hunched over gargoyle type like posture, you want to make a note of that. That's what you want to look for. And also their face. Are their skin colors changing? You just have one client, so is your client's skin changing? Are they going from pale to more color, right? You can really see that change, especially if you've done a great job in your sessions. You can see their skin color changes. Any flushing in their skin or lips, or are there any muscular tension at all? Are they furrowing their eyebrow? Like, are they like this the whole time? Or are they like, you can just tell that someone is very tense in their face. You want to notice that. And as they're talking to you, do they switch back and forth from any of these movements? Do they go from stillness to twitching and fidgety? Is there any limb catalepsy going on? Any limb levitation going on? Definitely do not look for this, but if it does happen spontaneously, then that is what you want to look for. And these are just the visual cues. There are a lot more cues that we talk about inside the neurosync hypnotic questioning trainings. There are auditory cues as well, which is going to be a different training for one day because it's a lot more challenging for a lot of people to hear things. But this is definitely a good place to start for you today. So if you have a client session soon, very, very soon, then definitely look for this. And I'm going to show you a clip very soon. And all you're doing is observing. That is it. You're not going to make a conclusion. I know in NLP, they say that if someone looks up to the up left, bottom left, right, right, top, right bottom, that it means something. They're retrieving some sort of conscious or unconscious information. Don't worry about that shit. That shit doesn't matter because you are not the one who is analyzing the things that are happening with your client. It is your client doing the work. So just that's too much work and unnecessary work. So what you want to do here, if you find anything like, for example, definitely in the clip, look at the client's eyes, and I will show you what happens to the eyes. What you want to look for is what is happening in the in-betweens, like the blinking after the question. And that is how you know if your clients are displaying any of these information that they're retrieving unconscious territory, which means that you are getting to the root of the problem faster or you are headed in that direction. So you want to keep your client there. So I'm going to switch my screen over to the clip. So I encourage you, I might play it a few times, depends. Let us play this clip.
What's that got to do with the sadness?
Look at the eyes. Watch my eyes. The rapid blinking, unconscious moment. More blinking. Watch the eyes. Keep watching my eyes here. All right. So look, that is an example, right? A question was asked. What's that got to do with the sadness? For a bit of context here, the symptom that I wanted to work on was eczema, so a skin condition. And so we talked about the sadness, and sadness came. And I was just asked by my amazing hypnotherapist, what does that have to do with the sadness? And you can see my eye blinking rapidly. I can't even try to do that now because now I'm trying to do it consciously. It all happened unconsciously. So when you ask your clients a question and then they do any of the visual cues from the previous slide that I just showed you, then it means that they're retrieving unconscious information. You are in the right spot and you really, really need to do this one very important thing as you're noticing it. You're gonna fucking listen. That is it. Because whatever the answer is after that huge unconscious expression is going to be very, very, very valuable. So you want to make sure that you're listening to whatever the answer is of that question because that is going to give you some juicy, juicy information because For example, with this one, what does that have to do with sadness? I'm processing and looking for that very unconscious information. And you can see that because I was REMing literally, eyes open. And after that is going to be a very juicy unconscious answer. So if you have a script in front of you, if you have cue cards in front of you, you are going to miss this because when you read a script, when you are in your head and you're saying or thinking, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say with regards to this. I think I need to say this. I think I need to plan this out, trying to control the session. You are really ignoring the unconscious mind's body language here and the unconscious mind speaking to you. So for this, when I said body language, my body spoke through rapid blinking. And so whatever the answer of that question was is going to be very, very helpful and was a huge thing that came up within the session. And so this is what you want to look for. As you may have noticed just in this training, it is very, very different to what you will learn or have learned in traditional hypnosis and NLP trainings. This is the type of thing that hypnosis and NLP tries to assimilate inorganically by asking a question, by my hypnotherapist here asking me a question with regards to what that has to do with sadness, which was very contextual. It needed to be asked at that moment in time. When she asked that, I spontaneously went into unconscious territory, which then allowed for the root to flourish organically on its own and release any emotions and have the metaphors that needed to come out within that session without my hypnotherapist having to say, go deeper, drift deeper, and sink deeper. I went deep on my own because that was what needed to happen. And so, as I mentioned, this training is something that is not very typical, which makes the results atypical. It means that when you do this, when you no longer try too hard to attempt to deepen your clients and just allow for the not natural process to happen, then your results are going to be fantastic. With this session, after 3 weeks, the eczema that I worked on was completely gone and is still gone up until this date, more than a year later. So these are the results that people pay for. And so, if this is something that you want to learn more about, the hypnotic questioning training is happening on the 23rd to the 25th of August. You can sign in at any time. In fact, I do recommend you to sign in or sign up as fast as possible to get you started because the results you have today are from the work that you did 90 days ago. And so, if you want results ASAP, then why the fuck would you wait, right? We are here today because of the work that we did months and months and months ago. So if you start now, 3 months from now, you could have that very session with your client when your client's mind is just blown and tell you, hey, I've been trying to work on this. You have talked to many people and I've tried so many things, spent a lot of money, but you were the one who actually helped me out with it. How does that feedback feel? Well, if you start today, you could definitely have that result within your session, especially if you put in the work. And so the doors are open now for the Neurosync Hypnotic Questioning course. Having said that, definitely apply this to your next session. Look back at that slide to ensure that you have the visual cues in place. And when you go into your session, definitely look for it and notice it in front of you, in front of your client, and then listen to whatever it is that they say after that. And of course, you can do that. And I have had many hypnotherapists who have just tried this principle and gotten real amazing results. But if you want next level results and if you want support, you need to learn how to actually keep your clients in that moment and to actually also have the space to practice and connect with others, which is what the course is all about. Having said that, I hope you have a great day. I hope that this is helpful and definitely apply this during your next session and let me know how it goes, and I will see you around.